What if I told you that the secret to building real wealth in America has almost nothing to do with how much money you make, and almost everything to do with what you refuse to spend it on? Most people think rich people are wealthy because they earn more, but study after study shows that is not the whole story. Plenty of high earners stay broke their entire lives, and plenty of ordinary income earners quietly build seven-figure net worths over decades. The difference is not income. The difference is what rich people have trained themselves to never spend money on. Today, I am going to walk you through 7 specific things that genuinely wealthy Americans consistently refuse to buy. Not because they cannot afford them, but because they understand something most people never figure out, that protecting money is just as important as earning it. Let's get into it. The number one thing that wealthy Americans almost universally refuse to buy is a brand new car. And I know what you are thinking, but I see rich people driving nice cars all the time. You are right. Wealthy people do drive nice cars. But here is the crucial distinction: they almost never buy them brand new. Here is why. The moment you drive a new car off the dealership lot, in that exact moment, it loses somewhere between 9 and 11% of its value. Not next year. Not in 5 years. The second you leave the lot. Within the first year, a new car loses approximately 20% of its value. By year 3, it has lost around 40%. By year 5, close to 60%. So you buy a $40,000 car. 5 years later, it is worth $16,000. You just lost $24,000 to depreciation alone, before you even count the interest on your car loan. Meanwhile, the wealthy person buys a 3-year-old version of the same car. The original owner already absorbed that 40% depreciation hit. They pay $24,000 instead of $40,000 for essentially the same vehicle. And they invest the $16,000 difference. At 10% average annual returns, that $16,000 becomes $69,000 in 15 years. From just one car buying decision. Here is your fix. Next time you need a car, look for certified pre-owned vehicles that are 2 to 3 years old. Same quality, same reliability, a fraction of the cost. And put the difference to work. Walk into the home of a genuinely wealthy person, not someone performing wealth, but someone who has actually built it, and you will often be surprised. Their kitchen has store-brand items. Their medicine cabinet has generic medications. Their cleaning products are not the premium brands. Because here is something wealthy people understand that most consumers never figure out. You are paying for the marketing, not the product. The FDA requires generic medications to have the same active ingredient in the same dosage as their brand name counterparts. They are chemically identical, but the brand name version can cost 80 to 85% more than the generic. The same principle applies across almost every consumer product category. Cereals, cleaning supplies, paper products, pantry staples, store brand versions are manufactured to the same standards, often in the same factories as the premium brands. The difference is the logo on the packaging and the $2 to $5 markup you pay for it. The average American family spends approximately $4,000 more per year buying brand name products when generic alternatives are available and identical in quality. That is $4,000 per year, $40,000 per decade, handed over to marketing budgets. Here is your fix. Go through your regular grocery and household purchases and identify every item where a store brand or generic alternative exists. Switch those items. Keep the brands you genuinely love and notice a real difference in. For everything else, store brand. Your wallet will not notice. Your net worth will. You are at the checkout counter. You just bought a $600 television. The salesperson smiles and says, "Would you like to add the extended warranty for $120? Covers everything for 3 years. Complete peace of mind." Almost every wealthy person says no. Every time. And here is exactly why. Extended warranties are one of the most profitable products retailers sell. Precisely because they pay out so rarely. Consumer Reports found that extended warranties are rarely worth the cost. Electronics fail most often in the first year, which is already covered by the manufacturer's warranty. And after that first year, the cost of repairing or simply replacing the item is almost always less than the warranty cost. Best Buy, for example, makes more profit margin on extended warranties than on the actual electronics they sell. Think about that. The warranty is more profitable than the product. Retailers train their sales staff to push warranties aggressively because that is where the real money is, and it comes directly out of your pocket. Here is the simple math. If you spend $100 per year on extended warranties across all your purchases, TVs, appliances, phones, laptops, over 20 years, that is $2,000 spent. Almost certainly paying out far less than that in actual repairs covered. Here is your fix. Skip the extended warranty almost every time. Instead, put that money into a small appliance and electronics replacement fund, a dedicated savings account where you add $50 a month. If something breaks, you pay yourself from that fund. If nothing breaks, you keep the money. You are essentially self-insuring and keeping the profit. The one exception, car extended warranties on used vehicles can sometimes make sense. Get them through a reputable third party, never through the dealer where markups are extreme. Americans spend over $100 billion on lottery tickets every year. Let me say that again. $100 billion. Every single year. And the vast majority of that money comes from lower and middle income households, the exact people who can least afford to lose it. Wealthy people almost never buy lottery tickets. Not because they do not enjoy a small thrill, but because they understand the math, and the math is devastating. The odds of winning the Powerball jackpot are approximately 1 in 292 million. You have a better chance of being struck by lightning twice in your lifetime. A better chance of being attacked by a shark while being struck by lightning. The expected value of a $2 lottery ticket is about 50 cents. Every ticket you buy is expected to lose you $1.50. But here is the deeper problem. Lottery tickets are often sold using the language of hope. For people who feel financially trapped, who do not know about investing, who do not have an emergency fund, who do not have a path to wealth, the lottery feels like the only viable route to financial freedom. It is not. It is a tax on financial desperation. Here is your fix. Take the money you would spend on lottery tickets and put it into an index fund instead. If you spend $20 a week on lottery tickets, that is $1,040 per year. Invested at 10% average annual returns for 30 years, that becomes over $180,000. Guaranteed. Not a 1 in 292 million chance. Guaranteed growth over time. The index fund is the only lottery where the house does not always win. This one is not a specific product. It is a mindset, and it is the most expensive mindset in America. Keeping up with the Joneses. Buying things not because you need them or even truly want them, but because someone else has them. The neighbor's new kitchen. The coworker's BMW. The Instagram vacation. The watch that signals success. Wealthy people, genuinely wealthy people, not people performing wealth, have almost universally broken free from this trap. They have defined their own relationship with money and stopped letting other people's choices dictate their spending. Thomas Stanley spent decades researching actual millionaires for his book The Millionaire Next Door. What he found consistently shocked people. The majority of millionaires in America live in modest homes in ordinary neighborhoods. They drive used cars. They clip coupons. Their neighbors have no idea they are wealthy. Meanwhile, the people on the block spending to look rich are often deeply in debt. They have all the signals of wealth and none of the actual wealth. Here is the brutal math. The average American spends $314 per month on impulse purchases driven by social comparison. That is $3,768 per year. $37,680 per decade. Over a working lifetime, that comparison-driven spending can consume hundreds of thousands of dollars that could have been building real wealth. Here is your fix. Every time you are about to make a purchase, ask yourself one honest question. Am I buying this because it genuinely adds value to my life, or am I buying it because of how it will look to other people? If the honest answer is the second one, put it back. That is not your money to spend. That belongs to your future self. Wealthy people are extremely careful about the debt they carry. Specifically, they almost never carry high-interest consumer debt. No credit card balances. No payday loans. No buy now, pay later traps. And this is not because wealthy people never use credit. They use credit extensively, but they use it strategically as a tool, not as a substitute for money they do not have. Here is the fundamental difference. Wealthy people only borrow money when the return on what they do with it exceeds the cost of borrowing. They borrow at 6% to invest in something returning 10%. That is wealth-building debt. What they refuse to do is borrow at 27% to buy things that depreciate or have no financial return. Clothing, electronics, dining out, vacations. That is wealth-destroying debt. The math is brutal. If you carry a $5,000 credit card balance at 27% interest and only make minimum payments, you will pay over $7,000 in interest alone. You borrowed $5,000 and paid back $12,000. The credit card company made more money from your $5,000 than you did. Buy now, pay later services are the newest version of this trap. 0% interest sounds great, until you miss a payment and the rate jumps to 36% retroactively. Or until you have 5 different BNPL plans running simultaneously and you genuinely cannot track what you owe. Here is your fix. The rule is simple. If you cannot pay for something in full from money you already have, you cannot afford it yet. Save for it. When you have the money, buy it. Never pay 27% to own something today that you could have for free in 60 days. The seventh and final thing that wealthy people never spend money on, or rather never invest time in, is staying financially ignorant. Every dollar you do not understand is a dollar someone else profits from. Every financial concept you do not know is a gap that banks, lenders, and retailers actively exploit. Financial ignorance is not free. It is extraordinarily expensive. The average financially illiterate American pays $329 per year in unnecessary bank fees, because they do not know better accounts exist. $2,147 per year in credit card interest, because nobody taught them how compound interest works. $368 per year in insurance overpayments, because they never shop around. $4,000 per year in brand name premiums, because they do not know generics are identical. That is nearly $7,000 per year paid for financial ignorance. Every year, wealthy people invest consistently in their own financial education. They read books. They listen to podcasts. They watch channels like this one. They spend 30 minutes a day learning how money works, because they understand that financial knowledge compounds just like interest does. Here is your fix. Commit to 30 minutes of financial education every single day. Books, podcasts, YouTube. The knowledge you build in 90 days will serve you for the rest of your life, and the money it saves and grows will be worth far more than the time invested. 7 things. Let me recap them quickly. New cars, buy used and invest the difference. Brand name everything, switch to generics where quality is identical. Extended warranties, self-insure instead. Lottery tickets, invest that money in index funds instead. Keeping up with the Joneses, stop spending for other people's opinions. High interest debt, never borrow to buy things that depreciate. Financial ignorance, invest 30 minutes a day in your own education. None of these require a higher income. None of them require a finance degree. They just require the decision to stop spending money the way the broke majority spends it, and start spending it the way the quietly wealthy minority does. The wealthy did not get rich by earning more than everyone else. They got rich by refusing to lose money the way everyone else does. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button right now. It helps more people find this information. Subscribe, because every week we break down exactly how to build real wealth in plain English. And comment below, which of these 7 things surprised you the most? I read every single comment. Take care of your money, because your money takes care of everything else.